#1 rated racquetball radio sports talk show in the nation, including Alaska, Hawaii, and soon the world. Please address any comments, questions, or suggestions to WNJC 1360 AM, 123 Egg Harbor Road, Suite 302 in Sewell, New Jersey, 08080. Attention, Ray Davis, Racquetball Roundtable. Or send an email to rdavis@fxsports.com. Tune in next Tuesday evening from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the next installment of Racquetball Roundtable, where it's racquetball, chess at 180 miles an hour. Racquetball Roundtable is an FX Sports production. Duplication, reproduction, or retransmission without the express written consent of Racquetball Roundtable and FX Sports is prohibited.
It is I, the Mystic, coming to you live once again from the Mystic's Realm Studios in beautiful Gloucester, and of course broadcasting to you live through WNJC 1360 AM, Washington Township, the Renaissance Station. Folks, it is great to be back on the air. This is our very first show of the year, and I am buku excited. Yes, buku excited to be here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot going on. We've got a lot to talk about, so we're going to get to it. This is, I must remind you all, this is my prophecy show. Oh, yes. Now, we had some technical difficulties last week, and we're still having them this week. I'm actually on a regular phone. My headset's down, and, we had some problems with our camera crew last week, but we are live tonight. We've got cameras rolling. I'm on a crappy, cheapy phone, but I think it'll work out just fine. And, we're just going to take it as it comes, right, to bring you prophecies of 2010 tonight. Very, very excited. We're also going to be reviewing my prophecies of 2009 since we weren't able to do that last week. So, we got a lot going on tonight. First off, I want to thank you all again for tuning me into your homes and businesses. This is the Mystic Hour, Tri-State Area, and the world's free call-in live psychic talk show. I am your host, the Mystic, professional psychic of 1,000 years, here to assist you, my brothers and sisters, in all matters of love, life, health, success, and of course, destiny. That's right. First off, I want to thank everybody that has given us so much wonderful support and love over the years, including some of our wonderful sponsors, of which you will be hearing this hour. Also, I want to thank the wonderful Oz for being here present this evening to be taking your calls and handling all this radio stuff that's going on. I, of course, was not available on Thursday over at Dempster's Sports Bar and Restaurant. They were having this huge New Year's Eve shindig, and I wanted to spend mine with my family, which I did, and it was just absolutely fantastic. We had a great time, and just wonderful, wonderful stuff. Watched the ball drop, the whole deal. So, this coming Thursday, I will be appearing live at Dempster's Sports Bar and Restaurant in Mount Holly, New Jersey. And I'll be there doing absolutely free psychic readings with anything off the menu, folks. You come in, get an hors d'oeuvre, get a dinner, get an entree, whatever, get some nachos, anything you want off the menu, you get a free psychic reading with me. I think that's a pretty good deal. Also, they have all kinds of really great stuff going on there, DJs and all kinds of games going on there and events all the time. So you guys got to come out, and that's at Dempster's Sports Bar and Restaurant in Mount Holly, New Jersey. It is always a good time there. It really is. Great people, you know, very family-oriented. In fact, the bar is actually family-run, and it's just a great time over there. So if you guys get a chance, come on out to Dempster's this coming Thursday, 7 to 10. Get there as early as you can so that you can guarantee yourself a spot on the list, okay? That's really, really important. Okay, also, I'd like to give a very, very happy shout out to Peggy and Kevin. You know who you are. I want to thank you guys both so much for having me out and doing a wonderful party with some very wonderful people out there over the past week. We had a really, really great time, and I look forward to seeing you guys again very, very soon. Okay, so with that out of the way, my brothers and sisters, again, I want to remind you all, this is a free call-in live psychic talk show. You guys are welcome to give me a call, but I regret that there may not be a lot of time for that tonight. We've got a lot to talk about. First off, you know, this is, as we know, my prediction show. Now, every year, the very first show of each year, I reveal several prophecies that I feel are going to take place before December 31st of that year. I've done this every single year, and through that venue, I predicted the 9/11 attack. I predicted the tsunami in Southeast Asia. Also predicted some good things. Predicted the Red Sox being able to break the curse and actually winning a World Series, which was pretty cool a few years back. And you know, we've got some really cool stuff going on. So I think what we're going to do is, you know, again, remind you all, this is, you know, the Mystic Hour, but I want to go ahead and get started here because, again, we've got so much going on and so much to talk about. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go to commercial very, very quickly, and when we come back, we will begin our prophecies for the 2009 predictions review. Okay? So you guys stick around for that. We will be back in just a few minutes.
Hi, I'm the Mystic, and as a psychic advisor, it's my job to assist you in all phases of life. Many couples come to me to give them insight on how to become better, closer couples, how to avoid the relationship ruts so many fall prey to. The answer is bliss. Bliss is quite simply a game for loving. At www.gamesforloving.com, you'll find bliss is the perfect game for an intimate couple. Whether you're looking to add more spice to a long-lasting relationship, or if you're trying to get to know and enjoy your new partner together, this game is for you. Completely customizable, gamesforloving.com provides you with what you consider to be your perfect intimate experience. Your mood, your pace, your desires, all customizable. Bliss is a game based on intimacy, not just sex. Explore each other's feelings as well as bodies. There's even an add-on pack designed especially for Christians. Go to www.gamesforloving.com and check out their demo, and you'll see quickly that no couple can be truly happy without bliss. Remember, that's gamesforloving.com.
Do you have a product or...
When is the last time you felt like a queen? Here at Champagne Spa and Salon in Barrington, we do just that. Get pampered at our full-service salon. Get your hair done, a manicure, a pedicure, get a quick tan, all on the premises. Call 856-546-4976. Afterwards, relax with our fully trained masseuse. We will show you pleasures unlike any other. Champagne Spa and Salon. Call 856-546-4976. Conveniently located in Barrington at 315 Clements Bridge Road. That number again is 856-546-4976. And we look forward to serving you, Your Majesty.
Ready to expand your customer and client base and network with others all over the tri-state area and beyond? Join TBT. That stands for Today's Barter Technology. Call TBT at 856-514-3776. It's a fundamental principle that our country's commerce is built on. Bartering is simple. We promote your goods or services, we handle all the details, and you get credit for the goods and services that you need. It's barter, it's promotion, it's networking, all in one. Call TBT today at 856-514-3776. Imagine offering excess goods or services on your terms to the barter pool in exchange for goods and services that you need. The best part is that you're not spending your own hard-earned money. You can do it all on trade. Just ask Mystic how easy it is. Call TBT right now at 856-514-3776 and check out our website at www.tbt-now.com. 856-514-3776 and start trading today.
Do you own a business? If you
State area and the world's free call-in live psychic talk show. Okay, folks, what we're going to do is we're just going to go down the list for my predictions for 2009. One of my very first predictions was that, simply enough, there's going to be many earthquakes this year. 2 in North America, 2 in Southeast Asia, and 1 in the Middle East. These are earthquakes that are, a bit more pronounced. I mean, there's always earthquakes going on all over the place, but these I felt would be prominent ones. And sure enough, the 2 in North America, one of them was on Christmas Day, actually. And this was in Jalisco, Mexico. And it was pretty decent size. It was a 4.8, which is, getting there. And only a couple of days before that, there was one in Northern California. That was on 12/22, and this was a just under a 5. So this is another 4.8 here. So we've got 2 earthquakes in North America. Now I also predicted 2 in Southeast Asia, and sure enough, there was one near the coast of Papua. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know. In Indonesia, which is right around where they had the tsunami a couple years back on Christmas Day, if you guys recall. And that was a big mess. Also in southern Sumatra in India, or Indonesia. Now, both of those were actually 7.5 and 7.7. Those were big ones. But the total deaths on all 5 of those was 1,117 people. Horrible, horrible, horrible things. Earthquakes, that is the one disaster that I've never seen, heard, or felt. I've actually been in a tornado. I've been in a hurricane. Been through a flood. And, I've been through that massive snowstorm back at the storm of the century. I was through that. But the earthquake I've never experienced. That sounds like a pretty scary thing. The earth moving underneath my feet. That just sounds frightening. But there you have it, folks. 5 earthquakes, 5 earthquakes. Another prediction that I had made was more bad crops are going to be seen this year, with famine to follow overseas. And folks, I don't have to tell you, it was absolutely horrible out there. There was so much famine this year. Literally, countries like Mexico are changing their whole plan. Like, Mexico used to have this law where you weren't able to use like hormone growth for vegetables and things like that. They're changing all that just to be able to compete, and get their food out there for some of these people. There's been food riots in Spain, food riots in India this year, all because there wasn't enough. And, here we are, which we had some bad crops ourselves this year, and it was horrible, and it was really bad in Australia as well. The wheat crop in Australia was just absolutely devastated. I think they said it was like 70% of their crops, their wheat crops, were trashed. And yet, through all of that, we're still growing lots and lots of corn for fuel instead of food. I just don't get that. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yes, great, it burns better and blah, 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 and it's cheaper than oil, whatever. But the fact that we're using food for cars instead of people, I just find that to be a little horrible. So, come on, people, let's get that together and start feeding these people out there. It's really, really horrible all over the world. And, as I predicted, it's not going to get any better. And I still don't think it is. But we'll talk about that a little later. Well, I guess we'll talk about that now. My next prophecy was that the economy will not get much better this year as more companies ask for help. And folks, you've read the papers. The axe is falling left and right these days. Home Depot slash 7,000 jobs. CAT, Caterpillar, another Fortune 500 company too, has laid off 20,000 workers. Even Microsoft has cut as many as 5,000 workers. And Pfizer has let go of 10% of its staff of 81,900 people. So, everybody's laying off 5,000 here, 8,000 there, and it's not going to get any better, folks. I'm telling you right now, the economy is not going to get much better. We'd be better off growing our own vegetables and, at least taking some of the blow ourselves, in order to survive here. Because I'll tell you, I really don't think it's going to get any better. And that's a horrible thing to say, I know, but it is the God's honest truth. Okay, October this year, I sense a catastrophic event. I fear this month more than any other. Folks, in the middle of October, they announced that the swine flu has reached pandemic proportions worldwide. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people have died from the swine flu. It is bad, and I feel that the swine flu is actually here to stay. I don't think they're going to be able to get rid of that so quickly. I think it's going to be around permanently. So this is something that, we're just going to have to deal with every year. We're going to, we have the flu season, quote unquote. I do believe that we're going to be including the swine flu every single year as a devastating, horrible disease, because it's affecting everyone. It's affecting the young, the old, and there's a lot of problems with the vaccine right now too. They're saying that it causes liver damage and all kinds of weird stuff. I myself have not gotten the swine flu shot. I did get the regular flu shot, but yeah, spooky stuff. Okay, the next move we have here is a nuclear conflict on the horizon. Many nations begin taking sides. Now, folks, if you haven't heard, Ahmadinejad, in fact, this was also in October, released information on another nuclear site that he has underground that he wasn't revealing the sources for prior. And apparently this is a much bigger facility with a lot more capability for enriching uranium, and it's right next to and partially underneath a very large military installation. So this is supposed to be protecting it from any type of, attack. That's a scary thing. No question. I know Israel's shaking in their boots with that one, but we should too. Because Israel is one of our allies, and I think it's a scary thing. Now, the next one, speaking of scary, is I predicted that there would be a newfound rise in communism this year. Now, folks, let me tell you, I don't mind saying that I've never been a fan of communism, although it does seem to work on paper. It doesn't work in the true hearts and minds, But there is a sinister new organization which is urging the Russian people to reject pro-Western views and go back to the glory of Soviet Russia. It's a group 50,000 strong, which call itself Walking Together. They have strict rules and indoctrination methods, but unlike the Chinese group, it has the support of the authorities. They're saying, we want to create a new generation to help the president bring Russia out of crisis, says the founder, Vasily Yakomenko. Wow. The Kremlin's clear involvement can be traced back to the group's beginnings. Mr. Yakomenko left a job in the Kremlin administration where he was an overseer of state-run charities, and he left to create Walking Together. Now, this actually started in 2000, but these guys just this year got the backing of the Kremlin here. Senior patron of the movement, the deputy head of the presidential administration, his name is Vladislav Surkov, and this guy, he's right there hobnobbing with Putin the whole time. So they're very pro-Putin, and its first public action was a huge rally to celebrate his presidency back in 2000. So now they're running around wearing T-shirts with Putin's face, gathering around, speaking their love for Mr. Putin, and, folks, this is some crazy stuff. And it's not going away. The group demands strict loyalty and discipline from its members, who are handed a long checklist on joining, which includes commands to read at least 6 Russian classics a year, whether you enjoy them or not, and visit the site of a battle where the Russians were victorious every year. This is some scary stuff. I mean, these people are it's mandatory that they go and do this. Now they're saying that its outgoings are high. Members are divided into groups of 5 called Red Stars, each led by a foreman who receives a free pager and apparently like $60 for his services. Each of his 5 soldiers receives $10 as well as free T-shirts. So, these guys are serious. These guys are really serious. And, they're totally pro-Putin, and Putin's pro-them. So, their whole gig is to reform Russia back into the Soviet Communist Party that they knew and loved back in the day. That's a scary thing. And I'll tell you, I hope it doesn't work. I think it might. Communism is definitely rearing its head again, even with the Cuban leader, Fidel Castro, kind of stepping down for his brother. His brother has no intention of making this a democracy. His brother has every intention of continuing the communist regime, if you will. And, they're not alone. You've got, Venezuela and China, of course. We've got a lot of countries out there that are trying to bring back communism. And I'll tell you, I think it's a scary thing. I mean, it works great for the government, but it doesn't work at all for the people. It's a horrible thing. It's, slave labor at its best, if you will. So, it's a scary thing. Now, but it did happen. Now, here's another interesting one, and this is one of my more positive predictions, because every year, I have a couple predictions. Most are dire and spooky, but every year I do have a couple that are interesting and positive, every single year, and this year was no exception. I sense that a possible cause and a possible preventative of autism will be found this year. Now, if you don't know, autism is, serious stuff. Children are born with it every single year. But it was interesting because it wasn't even 2 weeks after my show where I revealed my prophecies for 2009. 2 weeks after that, I believe it was on January 18th, they found in China, they were doing this huge thing on autism, and they found that babies that are exposed to high levels of the male hormone testosterone in the womb have a much greater risk of developing autistic characteristics as children. Very, very interesting. So what they're saying is that, an abundance of male hormone in some women is producing this autistic situation here. So, now they're talking about a cause. Now if we can just work on the preventive aspect of it, I think that would be awesome, don't you? I mean, if we could get rid of autism completely, I just think that would be an absolutely wonderful thing. It's just such a horrible thing, to literally be almost trapped in your own body like that, It's very, very strange. Now, the final prophecy that I made for 2009, this is another kind of strange one. I predicted that a large-scale UFO event this year would occur with hundreds of witnesses. And I specified hundreds of witnesses. And sure enough, back to China we go. On August 31st, 2009. Now, remember, folks, all of these things that I'm mentioning, you can look up yourself. They're out there. Believe it or not, every single one of these predictions can be found on the net. So check them out because they're pretty interesting stuff. But this one is pretty amazing. UFO researchers are still baffled over a large-scale UFO event. It's like they quoted me, right? A large-scale UFO event whereby thousands of witnesses saw two cloud-like UFOs with white lights circling them over an enormous area. Folks, we're talking people have seen this in a 300-kilometer radius. There were sightings of this thing. So it wasn't just, a group in one little area that saw it and that was it. No, we're talking 300 kilometers. That's 150 kilometers any way you go. People saw this thing. Thousands of them did. Lots of photos of the event are beginning to surface along with film footage. Neither scientists nor authorities have come forward with any answers as to what the objects seen were. However, it has been noted that the sighting stands out in regards to the wide area over which the UFO was seen. You guys may recall that that there was an eclipse in China this year, and during that time there was a smaller UFO event. People witnessing the eclipse, there was a bunch of people that had actually seen a very strange cloud-shaped UFO. And they're saying that there was a lot of similarity to this thing, which is pretty crazy. It also bears similarity to the famous Japan Airlines 1986 sighting, where a very large craft were circled by many smaller rotating objects. So, wow. So they're saying that this same type of UFO has been seen several times in China, Japan, surrounding areas. But, I mean, thousands of witnesses. Thousands. Thousands of people coming forth with videotapes and photographs and the whole bit. And, again, you guys can check this out online because there's some pretty amazing stuff. It really, really is. I've seen some of the footage, and it was pretty impressive stuff. No clue. It definitely wasn't an airplane. Definitely wasn't anything like that. So, you guys got to check that out if you get time. It's pretty spooky stuff. It really is. So, there you have it, my brothers and sisters. That's my prophecies of 2009 in review. So it looks like we hit them all. You know, wow. We hit them all. And it's neither here nor there. Like, you know, I'm not saying, yay, I got them all right. It's nothing like that. It's more just as, you know, deep to me as it is with any of you out there. I can assure you of that. You know, when I do these prophecies, and that includes my prophecies of 2010, I have absolutely no idea what these prophecies are until about an hour before my radio show, where I sit down and I relax and I just pretty much open my mind to the universe, if you will, and I just let it come. And everything that I see, I write down as quickly as possible, and of course, you know, get the list together and then bring it to you guys. But I had no idea what these prophecies were going to be like up until about an hour before the show. So, you know, it's not like I had time to prep for these or anything like that. But that's what I saw. And wow, you know, some pretty amazing stuff. And, you know, there are a lot of psychics out there that generalize. I try my best not to. You know, I try to be as specific as I possibly can for you guys. So, there you have it. My predictions for 2009 in review. And what we're going to do is we're going to soak that in. And remember, we actually are going to be filming, we are filming this, so we will have this up on a YouTube channel. On my channel, youtube.com/TheMysticsRealm, just like my website. So you guys can go back and check them out. And I'll see if I can provide a few links to some of the actual news articles that I had found, you know, that pertain to those prophecies. And see if I can't stick them up for you. But throughout the year, you know, a lot of you guys helped me out with that too. You know, for instance, when those earthquakes hit, you know, I actually received letters from a couple people in California that listened to me out there, and they were the ones that told me, wow, you were right about that earthquake, you know. So, you know, when these things happen, should you guys hear about it first, by all means, write me a quickie email, a quickie letter, themystic@themysticsrealm.com, and I would love to hear from you guys, and, you know, you guys can let me know exactly what's going on out there your way, okay? Right on. So, it's 31 minutes into the hour here at WNJC 1360 AM. We're going to go ahead and go to some more commercials, introducing
service
some
that
of
you
our
want
wonderful
advertised on the
sponsors.
Mystic Hour.
And when we do that, when we come back, of course, we will be revealing my prophecies for 2010. So stick around.
Hi, I'm the Mystic, and as a psychic advisor, it's my job to assist you in all phases of life. Many couples come to me to give them insight on how to become better, closer couples, how to avoid the relationship ruts so many fall prey to. The answer is bliss. Bliss is quite simply a game for loving. At www.gamesforloving.com, you'll find bliss is the perfect game for an intimate couple. Whether you're looking to add more spice to a long-lasting relationship, or if you're trying to get to know and enjoy your new partner together, this game is for you. Completely customizable, gamesforloving.com provides you with what you consider to be your perfect intimate experience. Your mood, your pace, your desires, all customizable. Bliss is a game based on intimacy, not just sex. Explore each other's feelings as well as bodies. There's even an add-on pack designed especially for Christians. Go to www.gamesforloving.com and check out their demo, and you'll see quickly that no couple can be truly happy without bliss. Remember, that's gamesforloving.com.
Does your car have dings, crunchies, bumps, owies, or even dents? Want to look like new again? Phileas Auto Body can help. Call 908-330-8626. Phileas has been in the auto body business for over 20 years and can do the work fast, easy, and affordable. Call 908-330-8626. Located in Browns Mills, New Jersey, they serve the entire South and Central Jersey area. Most work can be done while you wait. Call 908-330-8626. You and your car will be glad you did.
Hi, I'm the Mystic, and as a psychic advisor, it's my job to assist you in all phases of life. Many couples come to me to give them insight on how to become better, closer couples, how to avoid the relationship ruts so many fall prey to. The answer is bliss. Bliss is quite simply a game for loving. At www.gamesforloving.com, you'll find bliss is the perfect game for an intimate couple. Whether you're looking to add more spice to a long-lasting relationship, or if you're trying to get to know and enjoy your new partner together, this game is for you. Completely customizable, gamesforloving.com provides you with what you consider to be your perfect intimate experience. Your mood, your pace, your desires, all customizable. Bliss is a game based on intimacy, not just sex. Explore each other's feelings as well as bodies. There's even an add-on pack designed especially for Christians. Go to www.gamesforloving.com and check out their demo, and you'll see quickly that no couple can be truly happy without bliss. Remember, that's gamesforloving.com.
Attention South Jersey businesses. Are you ready to expand your customer and client base and network with others all over the tri-state area and beyond? Join TBT. That stands for Today's Barter Technology. Call TBT at 856-514-3776. It's a fundamental principle that our country's commerce is built on. Bartering is simple. We promote your goods or services, we handle all the details, and you get credit for the goods and services that you need. It's barter, it's promotion, it's networking, all in one. Call TBT today at 856-514-3776. Imagine offering excess goods or services on your terms to the barter pool in exchange for goods and services that you need. The best part is that you're not spending your own hard-earned money. You can do it all on trade. Just ask Mystic how easy it is. Call TBT right now at 856-514-3776 and check out our website at www.tbt-now.com. 856-514-3776 and start trading today.
Do you own a business? If you do, then you know the value of advertising. Advertising is the only way to reach new customers. Sure, you pass out business cards, but what if you could pass out hundreds of business cards every day? You can, through placemat advertising. Just call 856-423-7783 or 423-7784. Many people eat out every day. You probably eat out yourself. While waiting for your order, what do? Let me guess. Read the advertising on the placemats. G&L will help you get there and reach thousands of potential customers each week. Call 856-423-7783 or 423-7784. These members of your community eat out time and time again, and each time they'll see your business. Your business will succeed when you place an ad on a placemat. G&L has helped thousands of businesses for the past 14 years. G&L Advertising. Call them at 856-423-7783 or 423-7784, or visit their website at www.myplacematads.com. G&L Advertising takes the mystery out of growing your business.
The Sketch Club. Affordable ticket prices, intimate seating in a historical building, and plenty of free parking. Conveniently located in downtown Woodbury, a few blocks from Route 45 on the corner of Glover and Logan Streets. We're celebrating the 73rd consecutive season, bringing you the best in theater and live entertainment. For performance dates and times, call our 24-hour hotline at 856-848-8089. Performances run from Thursday to Saturday evening and a Sunday matinee at 2 p.m. Sketch Club is a non-profit community theater, the oldest running in South Jersey, and we're always looking for volunteers, actors, set builders, writers, and more. All creative minds are welcomed at the Sketch Club. Call us at 856-848-8089 or check us out on the web at www.sketchclub.net. Come and experience live theater with us, Sketch Club players. That number again is 856-848-8089.
Folks, it's great to be back. So we just did our review of 2009, and usually we do these shows separately, but because we had some technical difficulties last week, I figured we'd go ahead and hold off and do these things back to back to back to back. Okay? So what I've done, again, as I do every year, about an hour before my radio show begins, I kick back with pen and paper, and I just relax, and I chill, and I wait. And it comes. Some of these visions were actually stronger than others, and just like every year, I try to interpret these the best that I can, try to be as precise as I can, Got some good news and bad news out there, no question. We've got a lot of really crazy stuff going on, globally. But seems like a lot of weather stuff is going to be going on this year. So what we'll do without further delay, I'm giving you my prophecies of 2010. My first one is even more odd weather patterns this year, including 2 hurricanes and a long winter in the United States, in the West. And folks, this has already begun. I predicted right before the winter that this was going to be a long winter. And I do believe that's the case. And a lot of people, because we're having this cold snap, they're all laughing at Al Gore, saying, global warming, and yet we're having this, huge winter. Folks, let me tell you something about that real quickly, and then we'll get to the next prophecy here. The one thing the Earth has done is survived billions and billions of years. The way it's done that, though, is by trying to fix itself whenever there's a problem. And it has done so numerous times, okay? I believe that this cold snap is trying to fix the global warming problem. Now, I gotta warn you, the last time that we had a problem like this, the Earth fixed itself by destroying 99.3% of the entire Earth's population. That's people and animals. And, that's a pretty drastic change. And I believe, not this year, but I believe that if we don't, buck up and start trying to fix this stuff as trying to help Mother Earth fix herself, I believe that this whole thing is going to happen all over again. So be ready for that. So again, even more odd weather patterns this year, including 2 hurricanes and a long winter. The next one is large tremors are going to be seen on the San Andreas fault line, which is, I believe that's California and Mexico. Okay? Just this year, we've had some problems there. I think we're going to have some more. The third prophecy for 2010, and these aren't in any order. If I see a time frame, I try to put that in there too. Further signs of the United States crumbling, economically and politically. So, again, folks, this economy is definitely not going to get any better, but politically we're getting on some shaky ground here. There's more and more people that are, showing disapproval for President Obama, and not just them, but local legislation as well. We did, have an election here in New Jersey that, shocked a lot of people. As far as, New Jersey seems to have always been a bit of a Democratic state, and all of a sudden we got tired of that, and now we have Governor Christie in there. And, the guy seems like he wants to help, which is awesome. I hope he's able to. But, we've got some really crazy political stuff going on down there, especially with this healthcare reform and, the dwindling dollar. It's getting pretty bad out there. Now, my fourth prophecy for 2010 is yet another UFO sighting with hundreds of witnesses, but this time it's going to be in the West. It's in the West, folks. So it'll be on this hemisphere. Not China this year. I think it's going to be around here someplace. Which is kind of an exciting thing. I don't know. I feel like this whole 2012 thing, has some kind of extraterrestrial connection there. I don't know what it is, but I've always felt that since I was a little tiny boy, that there was some kind of a extraterrestrial connection. So I think over the next few years we're going to be seeing a lot more sightings, UFO-wise. I just believe we're going to see a lot more of that. Now, speaking of extraterrestrial, my fifth prophecy is that an asteroid, a possible asteroid collision with Earth, is going to go public. What that basically means is I feel that sometime this year scientists are going to say, oh, look, we found an asteroid. Oh, my gosh, it's heading our way. So I think they're going to make that public, which kind of surprises me, I will admit. That's not something that our country does very often, is go public with any, scary knowledge like that, because it doesn't want us to panic and the whole bit. But, this is what I see, so this is what I tell you, my brothers and sisters. Now, the next one, kind of a scary thing. A new interface innovation will be a threat to humanity. And what this means is I feel that there's going to be some kind of a link up between man and machine that's going to be really, really scary, almost making these things self-aware, like Terminator type stuff. Not really Terminator stuff, but I feel that there's going to be a really weird connection there that may not be broken. And I do feel that there could be a real threat there. And there's a lot of ways that can happen. Just the wrong information getting to the wrong person could be very devastating. Or that one person being able to block information, through this link up could be also just as devastating. So, we got some weird stuff going on with that. Our technology is going really, really fast, and it's definitely progressing, but wow, there's going to be something going on there. Now, speaking of that technology, I do sense that severe damage through hacking is going to be caused in the United States, possibly by China, because they've done it before. They haven't destroyed anything, but they've definitely hacked into our systems on more than one occasion. We've got living proof of that. But this time, I think there's going to be some kind of a terrorist attack through hacking, which, quite frankly, is pretty scary. And you think, well, how can that be? With our technology. Well, I got news for you. Any hacker will tell you that, not that I'm a hacker, but you be quiet out there, people. But any hacker will tell you that, with every antivirus program there's another virus that'll beat it. And right back and forth and back and forth. There'll be a program to beat the virus, then there'll be a virus to beat the program, then another program to beat the virus. And this has been going on since the beginning of the net, and it's not going to stop. There's always somebody out there with a new virus, a new worm, a new Trojan, trying to, put their name into the system. So, I do feel that there's really not too much that can be done to prevent that 100%. So, be ready for that sometime this year, folks. Our next one, this is our seventh one, actually. actually, or our eighth prophecy will be another pandemic of swine flu in the middle of this year. Now, as I mentioned to you earlier, the swine flu thing occurred in October, and it reached pandemic proportions in October, which is a pretty scary thing. I do believe that we're going to be seeing the swine flu around forever at this point. I do think it's going to, cause some pretty major havoc with people. It's a horrible thing, but it doesn't change what is, my brothers and sisters. It really doesn't. Now, my next prophecy is pretty foreboding. It's pretty straightforward. World War III could begin its ugly rise into the hearts of people all over the world late in the year. So we're talking the beginnings of World War III here. Now, I'm not saying that nukes are going to be launched at the end of this year. That's not what I'm saying. But I think people are going to start, I think countries are going to start poising. They're going to start, jostling for position, if you will. Okay? And I do believe it's going to happen late in the year, for whatever reason. But it's getting uglier and uglier out there, folks. It truly is. And, Obama's trying his best. The UK's trying their best to, try to tone down some of this mess. But it's not working. Not the way we're doing it. And I've said this many, many times. I think the only way that we're going to be able to fix this the way we want to is if we start treating this like a holy war instead of a political one, instead of a war on terror. I think it should be a holy war and considered such, because that's the only way it's going to work. If we start, using the fear of some of these extremists against them, because dying isn't a fear. They don't have fear of dying. What they do fear is the loss of their soul when they die, their loss of paradise when they die. So, pardon me for saying so, but I think, again, if we were to start setting up, film footage where they're showing soldiers soaking their bullets in pig's blood before arming themselves, and washing down the bombs with pig's blood before dropping them, I guarantee you that there would be such a decrease in this terrorism. I guarantee it, because they're not going to want to lose their chance to get into paradise. And according to, some of their extremist beliefs, it could happen. So this is what we need to do, folks. And, we have yet to do it, but I'm telling you, I think it's a great idea. I really think we should consider it. Now, we were talking about a threat to humanity through a new interface. I have another interface of man and machine, which is more of a bionic type, that I think is going to be an actual medical breakthrough. I don't think the two are related, though. I think it's going to be a completely different thing with a completely different, idea behind it. But I do think that that's going to be an amazing thing, and I definitely feel that it's going to do a lot of good, especially for our troops out there that are, injured and the whole bit. So, it could be some nanobite technology, which is, always amazing. But I do feel that there's going to be some type of bionic thing going on, and I do think it's going to be an awesome breakthrough. Now, the final prophecy I have for 2010 is also kind of grave. People will see the power of God through blood at the Vatican. Now, every year I have one prophecy that always seems to be a little cryptic, but it makes perfect sense, once it goes down. Just like, last year and the year before that, there's always some kind of cryptic, spooky, Nostradamus type of prophecy that goes on. And it happens every single year. But this is no different. This is no different, my brothers and sisters. So, here we go. So, people will see the power of God through blood at the Vatican. So I want you guys to remember that one. And again, you'll be able to see each one of these prophecies sometime this week. We will be posting them up on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/The Mystics Realm. It's just that easy, my brothers and sisters. So there you have it. We've got a ton of these prophecies for this year, and each one seems a little spookier than the next. I'm very excited about a couple of them, though. Again, these medical breakthroughs are just awesome. Granted, some of them have caused more trouble than they're worth. I don't deny that, but I do feel that a couple of these things are pretty exciting stuff. Again, I totally feel that this UFO event that's going to be witnessed this year in the Western Hemisphere instead of the East, I think that one's going to be big. I do. I think that one's going to be a big one. So I'm really excited about that one, and I'm kind of hoping that it's in Mexico instead of here in America. And the reason for that is because Mexico does tend to go public a lot more with their prophecies, which is awesome. You know what I mean? Whenever there's, a really big UFO sighting, they don't cover it up. They don't, say, oh, no, it was a weather balloon. They say, we don't know what that was. Look at that, but we got some footage here. Let's take it to the news. Let's take it to the media. If anybody has any idea what it is, by all means, shoot it. And I just think that's awesome, don't you? I love that about Mexico. Whenever there's a UFO sighting, boy, they just make a big, huge thing about it, saying, I don't know what this was. Hopefully you guys know what it was. It wasn't us. It wasn't our military. It's not a weather balloon. They're straight up about it down there. So I'm kind of hoping that it's down there, because if it happens here, of course, our country's military and government are going to be like, oh, no, it was a weather balloon. We knew that. You didn't know that? And just kind of let it die right then and there, So, again, kind of hoping that doesn't happen, So, there you have it, my brothers and sisters. Wow, we had a lot of them this year. I think this is actually some kind of a record. We had 11 prophecies this year. I think that's the most I've ever, revealed, in my year. But we're just getting to be out of time, my brothers and sisters. We've got about 4 minutes left in the show. So I want to thank all of my wonderful sponsors. We're going to have another year of the Mystic Hour here. So I want everybody out there listening to tell a friend that, the Mystic Hour is here, and if you need free psychic advice, this is the place to go. I'm here every week. I've been here for the past 9 years, working on our 10th season coming up in June. That'll be 10 years that I've been doing this show. Pretty exciting stuff. And I'll tell you, I plan on being here forever, just as long as you guys keep calling, as long as you guys keep writing, as long as you guys keep, sending me input, output, letting me know that you exist. I will continue to exist here at WNJC 1360 AM. It's been a wonderful time here. I've enjoyed it immensely. You guys are awesome. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, I'll tell you, Delaware, you guys are the closest to me, and you guys have been some of the greatest fans in the entire world. You truly have. I've lived all over this country. I've done some wonderful things for a lot of people all over the country, and a few things out of it. But you guys are some of the greatest people I've ever had contact with. And when I say I love you guys like family, I truly mean it. New Jersey has been so good to me. Pennsylvania has been so good to me. Delaware has been so good to me. And, I truly mean what I say when I love you all. I truly do. So I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning me into your homes and businesses, as you have over the past 9.5 years. And, of course, like I said, I will continue to be here just as long as you guys keep calling. I will continue this show. Hell or high water, I will be here for you guys. So keep that in mind. And, love your loved ones. This is going to be a pretty crazy year, I have a feeling. I think it's going to be a bit of a scary year politically for our country, and that's a sad thing. So stay tuned for the Sports Maniacs. We got 1 minute left in the show. I want to thank all of you for tuning me into your homes and businesses. I'd like to thank WNJC and the great Oz for making all this radio stuff happen. And, of course, I'd like to thank the good Lord above for making all things possible. He is the man. We will catch you all next week. Take care of yourselves.
You're listening to WNJC 1360 AM, Washington Township, Philadelphia, and in cyberspace at WNJC1360.com, a service of Foresight Broadcasting.
When I arrive, I'll bring the fire, make you come alive. I can take you higher, what this is. Forgot, I must now remind you, let it rock, let it rock, let it rock. Because when I arrive, I'll bring the fire, make you come alive.
Live from the Super 1360 WNJC studios, it's the Sports Maniacs. Calling lines are now open at 856-227-1360. And now, here's Ray and Jeff.
Hey, welcome back to another week.